So last time we left off with the massacre of Mount That. I honestly don't know how to pronounce it. I think last time I pronounced it wrong. I'm just not even going to attempt it. Well, after this, Oda spent time mopping up the Azai and the Asakura and even more warrior monks. But this wasn't a break for Nobunaga. As he finished up with the Asakura, the Takeda made its move. Now the Takeda was a beast of a clan, and their cavalry could not be matched. But to get to the Oda, they had to travel through the Tokugawa. The Tokugawa rallied all their forces to fight the Takeda, but the Takeda made a decisive victory, crushing the entire opposing army. Ieyasu only managed to escape with 5 men. Ieyasu then retreats to one of his castles, where he makes a big brain play. Like, this man, he has a really amazing ability to just dodge death wherever he goes. Like, most guys, they've come out of a battle. All their army is dead. He's out with 5 of his men. He goes to a castle, and you know what he does? He opens the gates. He lights every fire, making it look full and crowded. He starts beating a war drum and everything. So, when the Takeda see this, they believe it's a trap. So they surround the fortress to starve out Ieyasu. But, with some well-placed ninjas and a lot of chaos, they manage to make the Takeda retreat with 5 men. Ieyasu has just beaten one of the biggest armies in Sengoku Jidai, Japan, with 5 men. I mean, this guy is just... I don't even know how he's doing this. With a few more battles and a few more god tactics from Oda Nobunaga's side, the Takeda suffered defeat after humiliating defeat. And with this, they begin to retreat. And in the castle of Nagashino, the Takeda clan meet their end. But of course, not before making a pact with the Usuege, and more warrior monks. Now, the leader of the Usuege was like a god of war in Japan, and he proves this by drowning Oda's entire army in their first battle by bursting a riverbank. He was planning to invade all of Oda lands, and he probably would have won, when he suddenly died. And with no heir, and that anticlimactic end, Oda now had control of most of Japan. But it isn't that simple. You may be thinking why this video is called The Death of Oda Nobunaga. Because Oda hasn't died yet, has he? Well, we're getting to that. Nobunaga went to a place called Hanoji on his way to Kyoto to finish up some business he had. He gave control of the army to the general Ikichi Mitsuhide to go help Toyotomi Hideyoshi on a siege that he was at with one of the final battles of the Sengoku Jidai. But General Ikichi Mitsuhide was traitorous and told the army that the enemy was in Hanoji. So the army charged after their own clan leader. Now, Oda had a few retainers with him, and they tried their best to fight off the oncoming army. But in the end, Oda Nobunaga was cornered in a temple. He told the last of his retainers to light the temple on fire, and went inside and committed seppuku. I'm not even sure if the people knew they were after Oda, or if Mitsuhide had lied to them. But this is how Oda Nobunaga's tale ends. And once again, it is not the end of the Sengoku Jidai, because my life couldn't be any worse. No. We still have a few tales to wrap up. First, Tokugawa Hideyosu. Tokugawa is still standing, but in Kensei land, surrounded by Mitsuhide's treacherous troops. But once again, I remind you, Tokugawa simply cannot die. So the ninjas once again come in clutch. They spirit him away, and with him out of the way, Mitsuhide thought, well, this should be fine. I own Kyosho, I'm the shogun now, there's no one else to oppose me. He even started killing off Oda's heirs. He only managed to get one before the rest could flee. But we still got the legend Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Now, Toyotomi Hideyoshi was still on that siege that Mitsuhide had actually been sent to fix, but he managed to call out a peace treaty and rush back to Kyosho. He absolutely annihilated Mitsuhide's armies, and Mitsuhide himself was killed by a few angry peasants. Serves him right. He had only been shogun for about 3 days. Now, the daimyo must vote on who will be the next shogun. They decide Nobunaga's 2-year-old son, because obviously that's the smartest solution. Well, really, they did that so that, Toyotomi Hideyoshi could, control him from the shadows, because it's a lot easier to control a 2-year-old than a fully grown adult. Now, Tokugawa and Hideyoshi still had a bit of a rivalry, but that's nothing that a bit of bribery can't sort. So, with this, the Sengoku Jidai actually comes to an end. I can finally rest and never talk about this again. Until maybe later when I do this a bit better when I know what I'm doing. Goodbye. Next video, don't even know what it's gonna be. Might be gaming, might be something in World War II. I don't know. I'm tired. Goodbye.